God is reaching for you right now. This is not another clip to swipe past, it's a divine emergency. God isn't quiet. The throne room is in motion. A major arrest is happening in the spirit, a holy shutdown of darkness in the unseen, and whether you realize it or not, you are tethered to it. This is not random. You didn't land here by chance. You were summoned. Your name has entered rooms and conversations you never dreamed of. Heaven is calling you out bold, unmistakable, because something is being exposed and you are woven into the plan. Stay with me, don't scroll, don't skip. The next few moments could shift your life. There is a cry from heaven, a weeping that shakes the skies, not out of weakness, but out of God's relentless love for you. His tears are not defeat, they are warfare. They are a father's cry, watching his child edge toward destruction. He's calling you back before it's too late. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1-5. Right now in the unseen, decisions are being made. Things are moving behind closed doors, lies are being written, traps are being set, but God sees it all. And He's sending Archangel Michael to watch over you, to protect your name, to guard your destiny. This arrest isn't just about law and order. It's the arrest of falsehood, the arrest of manipulation, the arrest of every scheme the enemy used to bury your light. You are not being arrested. You are being remembered. God is moving. The mouths that whispered lies about you silenced. The hands that tried to ruin your story stopped. You are not being dragged into chaos. You're being delivered into vindication. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Isaiah 54-17. You were chosen for this moment. God is crying because you're close to walking away from the very word meant to heal you. Don't turn away now. Heaven is tapping your shoulder. Heaven has paused everything else. This moment is for you. Now, as you step forward into this divine calling, I invite you to respond. Type Amen in the comments as a bold declaration that you are ready. Stay until the end. We'll close in prayer and your breakthrough starts here. This is your time. This is your call. Don't miss it. Hear me clearly. Something sacred is happening, and it's happening now. Heaven is not silent. The throne room is stirred. God's tears are falling not because He's weak, but because His heart aches for you to recognize this exact moment. A shift is coming. A reversal is underway. And your name is at the center of it. This isn't about guilt. It's about glory. You see, what was meant to trap you spiritually, emotionally, even publicly, is about to become the very thing that sets you free. The weapons formed against you, the whispers behind your back, the traps laid in secret, all of it is being interrupted by God Himself. This isn't metaphor. This isn't just spiritual symbolism. This is divine intervention. And you are involved because heaven has chosen you as proof that God still fights for His children. Right now, beyond your sight, things are moving. Conversations are unfolding behind closed doors. Decisions are being made in rooms your feet haven't entered, but your name is there. Documents are shifting. Agreements are breaking. Plans are being rewritten. And all of it is echoing with your identity, not in shame, but in purpose. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In His love, He will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. Zephaniah 3:17. This is not just an event. This is a spiritual arrest, a divine halt, a supernatural. No more from the mouth of God, no more lies, no more manipulation. No more battles fought in the dark where you had no voice. Heaven is saying enough. When truth rises, it doesn't whisper, it roars. And soon, the lies that tried to bury you will be suffocated by truth so loud no one will be able to deny what God is doing in your life. This is not your fall. This is your rise. Think of Joseph, thrown into a pit by his own brothers, accused and imprisoned by people who feared his favor. But the very prison they tried to bury him in became the passageway to the palace. Joseph's story is not distant. It mirrors what God is orchestrating right now. What was meant to silence you is being turned into a stage. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Genesis 50-20. God's mercy is not silent. It moves like a river of fire through your story. They are active mercy. They're washing the road ahead, clearing your path and anointing your footsteps for something far greater than what you've lost. When heaven cries, the earth responds. Earthquakes in the spirit realm begin to crack the chains that have bound you, chains of shame, lies, fear, and delay. Angels are already in motion, don't look away. And listen, heaven's army is not passive. He stands armed beside you, a sword of fire in his hand. He cuts away every rope, every tie, every spiritual accusation, every false label. You are not forgotten. You are not erased. You are called. There's a reason your name is being mentioned right now in places you haven't entered. You've been carrying weight, silently breaking under pressure that nobody sees. You've been fighting battles without recognition. But heaven saw it all. God never ignored your struggle. He was storing it for your vindication. Those who sow in tears will reap with shouts of joy. Psalm 126:5. What's coming is not payback, it's payoff. You won't be remembered for what tried to arrest you. You'll be remembered for how God released you. This moment is not about punishment, it's about redemption. Proof that God still defends, still delivers, still declares freedom over those the world tried to chain. What's unfolding right now decides what happens next in your story. This is why you're still here. This is why the battle didn't take you out. This is why the storm didn't drown you. Because your story isn't ending, it's ascending. Heaven is unveiling truth so raw, so undeniable that it will leave even your enemies speechless. The very people who thought they could write your ending will watch as God writes a new beginning in front of them, not behind their backs. I will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. I will anoint your head with oil. Your cup will overflow. Psalm 23:5. Do you feel it? That stir in your spirit, that trembling in your chest, that's not anxiety, that's recognition. Your soul knows something holy is unfolding. Your heart is awakening to the sound of heaven's cry, not of sorrow, but of summoning. God is not distant, he is near. So near, his tears are falling at your feet, watering the very ground where you will rise again. This is more than restoration. This is redemption with power, and it's not just about you. What God is doing in your life will ripple into the lives of others. Your testimony will become a torch. Your story will unlock others from their prisons. You will not be known by what tried to hold you down, but by the fire God placed inside you that refused to be extinguished. This is your moment of divine reversal. Stay awake, stay aware, and remember when heaven roars, it's not weakness, it's war, it's God on the move. And you, child of God, are about to walk through the storm you once feared and come out with a story that silences doubt and shouts his glory. This isn't the end. It's proof that God still fights for his own. When heaven responds, something breaks open in the unseen. It's not ordinary, it's not subtle, it's not a whisper. It's a roar from the throne room of God, shaking what cannot stand and lifting what was buried. And right now, heaven is crying for you. This isn't a message of despair. It's a message of urgency, of purpose, and of a divine reversal that's already in motion. You're not here by chance. You didn't stumble on these words by mistake. You were pulled here. You were summoned because heaven needed you to know your name is being spoken in glory, not shame. You see, what you thought was a breakdown is actually a breakthrough. What looked like judgment was positioning. The pain, preparation, the silence around you, God's protection while he worked behind the scenes. This is not the moment where you fall apart. This is the moment where everything hidden is revealed and everything that tried to break you is put on trial. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, keeping watch on the wicked and the good. Proverbs 15:3. The arrest that is unfolding is not yours. It's for the darkness that tried to cage your light. It's for the false stories that were whispered when you weren't in the room. The lies, the manipulation, the quiet campaigns to dim your fire. God has seen it all, and now he's saying enough. When heaven moves, it's not the tears of a distant deity. It's the fierce sob of a father who refuses to watch his child be buried under injustice. These are tears of intervention. Tears that release angels into motion. Tears that mark a shift in the spirit realm. Right now, chains are falling. Systems that were built to hide the truth are breaking open. Invisible cages are being shattered because God will not allow you to be silenced. He will not let your name be reduced to a lie. He will not let your voice be erased. But let justice roll on like a river, righteousness like a never-failing stream. Amos 5:24. You've been carrying a weight. Questions you couldn't answer, accusations you couldn't fight, decisions made without you. Rooms where your name was brought up but your presence was not invited. Still, heaven was in every room. God heard every word and he's bringing all of it into the light, not to shame you, to vindicate you. This moment, this divine arrest isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your rise. God is locking up what tried to hold you down and unlocking what's been waiting for you. Heaven's cry is not weak. It is warfare. It's a declaration to the forces that moved in silence. You've gone far enough. And standing in the thick of this spiritual battle is Archangel Michael, his wings stretched wide, his sword ablaze. He's guarding you, not just watching, not just waiting, fighting. Every lie being sliced, every curse being reversed, every plot against your name being exposed. He will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 91:11. You've been watched, underestimated, overlooked. But you've also been anointed, chosen, protected, marked by heaven. That's why this message reached you when it did, because the time of silence is over, the time of confusion is done. Now is the time for justice, clarity, and release. There's a reason you survived what others didn't. There's a reason the enemy tried so hard to isolate you, to shake your faith, to make you question your own worth. Because if you ever realized the truth of who you are in the eyes of heaven, you'd be unstoppable. And that's exactly what's happening right now. God is watering the very ground where your enemies thought they'd bury you. But instead of fading into obscurity, you're about to bloom in full view. They will fight against you, but will not overcome you, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. Jeremiah 119. You were never meant to be trapped. You were never meant to be small. What tried to shrink you is now shrinking under the weight of divine justice, because God isn't just stepping in, He's taking over. Everything is turning, the tables are shifting, and when this arrest happens, when this exposure unfolds, you won't just survive it, you'll shine through it. And it won't be your voice alone that tells the story. It will be the undeniable evidence that when God speaks, no force in hell can reverse it. When God cries, hell trembles. This is why heaven is weeping for you, not out of fear for your future, but in love for what you're about to walk into. A love so bold, so consuming, that it refuses to let you miss this turning point. You are too vital to be lost, too chosen to be discarded, too anointed to be erased. So don't mistake the shaking for destruction, it's delivery. Don't confuse the tears with grief, they're birthing something new. See, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up, do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19, you were meant to hear this line at this exact moment with your heart cracked open and your spirit wide awake. Not because you're broken, but because you're ready, ready to be vindicated, ready to be remembered, ready to rise. This is the moment God cried for you and turned everything in your favor. You don't even realize how close your name has come to power. While you've been walking through your days, unaware, your story is being discussed, not in secret halls, but before the throne of justice, mentioned in hushed meetings, spoken in rooms where decisions were made without your presence, but not without your impact. You haven't been forgotten, you've been watched. And now heaven has something to say, not the version of the story others tried to write about you, not the distorted version shaped by whispers and shadows. No, this is heaven's side of the story, and you were handpicked to hear it. Don't move, stay right here. Because the ground is about to shake, a divine intervention not of a person but of a system, a spirit, a darkness that has tried for too long to hold you down is coming. And here is the miracle, your name is connected to it, not in shame but in glory, not in accusation but in vindication. The very hands that reached to pull you down bound, the tongues that twisted your words silenced, the intentions behind their actions exposed. Because God your Father is not standing by quietly, He's moving, He's crying, and His tears are not weakness. They are divine signals that a holy reversal is already unfolding. You may not understand now what I am doing, God once said, but later you will, John 13:7. This is that later, the moment where what was hidden comes into full view and your life becomes the platform where truth finally speaks louder than deception. Can you feel it? The shift, the holy tension in the air. That's not fear, that's God rearranging what was said against you. It's the sound of chains breaking, of hidden records being overturned, of judgment being overturned in favor of justice. Right now, Archangel Michael is not sitting still. In the unseen realm, he's moving swiftly. His sword is a flame of divine authority, cutting through every invisible rope that has tried to strangle your future. His wings are not decorative, they're defensive. They are covering your name, shielding your destiny from being buried in dust and distortion. This arrest that's coming isn't about punishment, it's about positioning. It's not the collapse of your life, it's the collapse of the structures that try to limit it. The exposure is real, but you will not be crushed under it. You will be lifted by it. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34-18. You've been misunderstood, misrepresented, spoken about, but rarely spoken to. People formed opinions without the facts. They made judgments based on fiction, but heaven didn't echo their verdicts. Heaven reserved its voice for now, for this moment. Because what is unfolding isn't chaos, it's cleansing. There is nothing random about this. The spiritual activity around you is not coincidence, it is confirmation. God has been watching and he's had enough. The false papers, the fake alliances, the secret strategies formed against your name, God is tearing them up one by one. And with every divine tear he sheds, truth floods in to replace the lies. Right now, you are standing in the middle of a holy interruption. Heaven is breaking in to remind the earth. This one is mine, and nothing can chain what God has chosen to free. Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. 1 Chronicles 16:22. This is your turning point. Not because you're finally loud enough, not because you're fighting back, but because God is fighting for you. He's standing in places you never entered, rewriting the narrative where your voice was never invited. Listen closely. The arrest you hear about will not end in your ruin, it will mark your rise. This is where you stop being the one people pity and become the one people marvel at. Because everything meant to bury you is now breaking around you. You are not the victim of this story. You are the revelation. Let that settle in your spirit. You were not meant to collapse under accusations, you were built to rise on the wings of truth. What the enemy meant for destruction, God is using for demonstration. Your life is about to speak louder than those who tried to silence you. And what is God saying through you? That he still shows up for his children, that the cries of the misunderstood reach his ears. That when injustice gains ground, heaven steps in, not with delay but with divine force. For the Lord loves justice and will not forsake his faithful ones. Psalm 37-28. Even now, Michael's cry echoes in the spiritual realm. This one belongs to the Lord. And nothing, no lie, no label, no legal paper, no spiritual attack can undo what God has decreed. Your story is not collapsing, it's clearing. Your name is not sinking, it's being lifted. And as this spiritual verdict unfolds, the light of God will divide you from everything that tried to shadow your name. Do not confuse this shaking with instability. It is the sound of the enemy's foundation crumbling beneath your feet. It is the holy rumble that always precedes revival, and in this revival you are not on the sidelines. You are the living proof that God defends, restores, and elevates what others tried to erase. So, listen carefully. Don't let your fear misinterpret this season. This is not your fall. This is your release. This is not the silence of heaven. It's the strategic timing of a God who waits until just the right moment to thunder into the courtroom of human judgment and declare, "My child will not be buried under lies." Heaven cries, not because it's afraid, but because it loves you too fiercely to stay silent any longer. You are not being arrested, you are being remembered. You are not being condemned, you are being cleared, and the weight you've carried is being lifted even now. Because what looks like trouble will become your testimony. Right now, in this very second, something sacred is unfolding. A moment not crafted by man, but authored by heaven. God is speaking, not with thunder, not with fire, but with tears, holy, weighty tears that hold the power to shift your entire life. And if you're listening, it's because this message was destined to reach you before this day even began. You didn't click this by accident. You were drawn here because your name, your very identity, is tied to a spiritual shift already underway. There is movement in the unseen, the winds are stirring, and heaven is saying, "Stay strong, my child, watch what I'm about to do." Don't scroll, don't move. What comes next is not simply revelation, it is rescue. God's voice is breaking through the static of this world, cutting past the noise, the distractions, the lies whispered behind your back. His tears are not sorrowful, they are strategic. Every drop carries authority, washing away false accusations, exposing hidden plots, and clearing a path through the wilderness you've been walking for far too long. This is not your end, this is your emergence. Something massive is happening in the spirit. A holy exposure is being prepared, not in the way the world expects, but in the way heaven has orchestrated. This arrest is not your downfall, it's not your shame. It's the end of a spiritual campaign against you. It's the moment the weight lifts, it's the chapter where what was hidden in secret is dragged into the light not to harm you, but to vindicate you. The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. Even now someone who tried to use your name for their gain is losing power. Someone who carried lies like a torch is seeing that flame extinguished. The Lord is saying, my child will not carry the weight of what they did, my child will rise. Do you feel that? That pull in your chest, that stillness in your spirit, that's heaven touching your soul, whispering truth through every beat of your heart. What you're hearing now is not ordinary, it's divine alignment. And standing at your side, unseen but powerfully present, is Archangel Michael. With his sword drawn, blazing with holy fire, he is cutting down every invisible trap set against your name. With his wings wide, he is shielding you from every accusation, every dart, every lie that tried to embed itself into your destiny. This isn't just about personal vindication, this is about divine justice. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9, heaven has declared you innocent where the world tried to declare you guilty. Not because you defended yourself, but because God stepped in with power and said, no more. What was planned in secrecy is being exposed publicly. What was said in quiet corners will be shouted down by truth. And the ones who conspired against you, they will have no choice but to bow their heads not to you, but to the justice of the Almighty. This is the beginning of a great reversal. You've walked with heaviness, you've asked questions in silence, you've wondered why the weight seemed to grow heavier with every step. But here's the truth, the pressure you felt was not punishment, it was preparation, it was the resistance that comes just before breakthrough. And now the breaking has begun, not of you, but of the barriers that tried to hold you back. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him. Isaiah 59:19. The tears of God are not weakness, they are weapons. They are the waters that soften the soil of your destiny, so that what was buried by betrayal, delay, or deceit can bloom again. Right now, those tears are falling over your story, they are cleansing the chapters others tried to stain, they are washing away the dust people threw on your name. And with every tear, the ground beneath you is shifting, cracking open to reveal the truth that you were never forgotten, never discarded, and never abandoned. The conversations happening behind your back, they're about to be revealed in front of you, the accusations dismantled, the lies disarmed, and through it all you will not be destroyed. You will be delivered. This is not chaos, this is not coincidence, this is the hand of God moving with precision. You've endured the silence, now you'll experience the shift. Heaven has already prepared the outcome, your enemies will not have the final word, God will. Your name is not written in shame, it is written in light. What was once weaponized against you is now testifying in your favor. The truth is marching forward, and it bears your name.